love this getting into role. It's good. So tell me a little bit about what's been going on.
Well, I just had a bit of an argument with my daughter.
Okay.
And she has a really big concern with me not communicating with other people,
Mhm.
I guess, in a manner where everyone can sort of gain something from the experience. It's sort of like, she has a problem with me, my sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
I've had issues with her for years now. I think, ever since I married her brother, I'm the second wife, so I think she took more to the first wife, so there was some issues there in the beginning, and I don't really think she treated me fairly. I don't think she gave me a chance, and I don't trust her because of that. I feel like from the time I had my kids, I feel like she made it her mission to exclude us from any family gatherings.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. So just to get it straight, this is a big family dynamic then.
Fairly.
And what's happening is this conflict between your sister-in-law and not just you, but your family.
Yeah.
Your sister-in-law's your husband's sister. Okay. And what it sounds like is that she favored the first wife. And you're bearing the brunt of that.
I mean, I've been treated like that my whole life, so I kind of expect it. I don't expect a whole lot from people, and it's hard for me to trust people. I don't trust. It's very difficult for me to trust, and I don't feel like she gave me the respect that I deserved, and it's like it even at times trickled down to my kids, and I have a major problem with that.
And that hits you even harder.
Because no one messes with my kids.
So in addition to not trusting her, you're really on the defensive because you want to protect your kids.
They can do whatever they want
To you.
to me, but not my kids.
Right. Yeah. And what I'm hearing is underneath it, there's a part of you that would like to have a better relationship with your sister-in-law. And there's this other part of you, a bigger part of you that's like, I'm not good at trusting people, I don't wanna trust her, and she hasn't proven herself trustworthy.
I don't think that it's me. I feel like I'm constantly having these things happen to me, and so she's giving me a reason not to trust her. It's not that I have trust issues, it's just that she's constantly doing things to make me not trust her.
Well, so I just wanna point out that a few minutes ago, you said that it's been hard for you to trust people most of your life. And here it is, situation of trust, right in your face. What do you think about it?
Yeah. Okay. But it's still always been an issue with people doing things to me. So people give me a reason not to trust them.
And yeah, I'm hearing that. And so there's this part of me that wants to let you know that people are imperfect and sometimes they're not trustworthy. It's about paying attention to consistent behavior. And there's this other part of me that wants to say, you know what, I bet people do that to you.
Yeah, they do.
And I imagine that that hurts.
Well, I wouldn't say that it hurts. It's just that, it's my husband's sister, so obviously, it'd be nice for everyone to get along because it's his family, but I don't have a whole lot of family, so I don't experience that. I don't have that closeness, but I know that that's probably what he wants. But I go on with my life. I mean, I don't let it faze me. I keep it moving. I live my life.
And so there are a couple of things that are happening for you. You have the way that you cope with this situation and this kind of situation is that you do this. Doesn't bother me. And yet, the way that you talk about it, it tells me that it does bother you.
I mean, it gets on my nerves. It definitely gets on my nerves, but you know, like I said, I'm used to it. I mean, people have been doing it my whole life, so I don't let it affect me anymore.
Well, so what I want you to know is that both of those things can be going on at the same time. Like it can bother you, and you can also do what you need to do to go on with your life. The question is, though, what you want to do with it bothering you, because that's kind of persistent. You live with your husband, and I'm trusting that that's kind of an ongoing situation. And it's kind of ongoing too, maybe not certainly to the same degree, to have to interact with your sister-in-law. So at some point, what you've been doing isn't gonna work anymore.
Well, I mean, it's working fine for me.
Sure. So I'm of the mind, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So right now, it's working, and at some point, you know, you might wanna learn a different skill. And if that comes at a time that we're in session, then we can spend some of our session on figuring out some other ways to deal with it. But for right now, it sounds like you're okay with, just sort of putting it aside and moving on with your life.
Well, I feel like if she isn't open to, you know, talk about it, then I'm not going to be. But
Okay.
then, you know, I hear my daughter, and she's telling me, well, Mom, she called you and said, is there anything that we need to talk about? She asked me directly, is there anything we need to talk about? And I just told her no, because I didn't think she was ready to hear it.
Okay. That's that. It sounds like she's wanting to make an effort, but there's this part of you that's like, I still don't trust her.
Yeah, I don't believe she's sincere. Yeah, she's inconsistent with her behaviors with other people. She lets her son disrespect her and all kinds, and I can't imagine why she would let her kids treat her like that.
Okay.
But she does.
Yeah.
And just I couldn't do it.
It's really confusing to see that happening. It is not happening to you, but it's really confusing to kind of be able to put yourself in her shoes and figure out why in the world would somebody do that. Yeah. And so the way that it kind of has crept in is that your daughter is aware that your sister-in-law kind of opened this door, and you're saying, close that door, I'm not going there.
But I'm really not saying that. When she asked me, I kind of was caught off guard.
Yeah.
And wasn't really sure where she was going with it, so I just left it alone.
Okay.
And then after talking to my daughter explained to me that could very well be, because it's not in her character, to just come out and ask you, you know, if there's any issues, let's talk about it. She doesn't do that. So my daughter made it, you know, clear to me that was probably her way of making an effort, but I don't think it was sincere. I don't think that she was ready to hear what I had to say.
And it sounds like you're also not ready to let her know.
Well, I mean, I'll tell her. If she asks me again, I'll tell her. And then I've got my daughter telling me, well, it could have been an opportunity that maybe you missed out on.
So I wonder how many opportunities it's gonna take for you to be ready to say something. I don't know either, but it might be something to think about.
Well, I mean, if she wants to ask me again, then I'll tell her.
Well, maybe what you and I could start to focus on is knowing what you know about her, shifting your response so that it could be more effectively heard.
Okay, and how would that?
She
would that
just played
happen?
right into my evil plan.
How would that, what do you mean, more effective?
Well, and so sometimes, how we present ourselves can make a difference in how we're heard. Sometimes, not all the time. So it may be a case of your sister-in-law just not being able to hear what you have to say. At the same time, there may be some ways that you express yourself that could have that door open a little bit further. And you and I would have to talk a little bit more about the dynamics to figure out really how you approach it and what's said and that sort of thing. So we could explore that a little bit more and maybe figure out something that could be more effective when you're ready to do that. And right now it doesn't sound like you're ready, and that's okay, because I don't want to push you.
Okay.
Okay? So we've got a few minutes more, and I'm wondering then, given we've talked about it a lot, and we kind of took a little deep dive there, what stands out for you about this session?
I don't feel like you're trying to control me and what I think.
So that's sort of the element that you're suspicious of your sister-in-law about manipulation and that sort of thing. That's not here. Okay.
Mhm. And I feel like, sometimes I feel like my daughter wishes that I would handle things differently, but I'm years old, so I've been, right, I've been on this road for a long time,
Sure.
and this is who I am, so that's just, I don't, and it's gotten me through, and I've survived, so, I don't wanna feel like, someone's trying to tell me how to think, or tell me how to feel, or tell me how to handle things differently when I've been doing this forever.
So how does it make you feel when somebody tells you what to think?
Well, I mean, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that they do that, because I don't like to be controlled. I'm an independent woman. I have a mind of my own, and I don't need to be controlled.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you resent it when somebody tries to tell you what to do.
You could say that.
Okay. How else would you describe it?
I don't know, that might work.
Okay.
That might work.
All right. Maybe sit with it and see what happens with it. It could be another word. It could be something else.
Okay.
And so, given all that we've talked about and what stands out for you, what would you like to think about or work on between now and next time? And we can just kind of call it out.
Okay.
It's good. We just enjoy this cut.
Oh, we're cutting. Okay.
She got so into it.
I didn't catch that.